year from 25th of November to 10th of December is a very, very special period when Kenyans and people across the world are marking 16 days of activism. When you talk about 16 days of activism, I'm talking about days to mark and create awareness against vices that are very retrogressive but still affect hundreds and thousands and even millions of people across the world. This is Robbie Omondi, your health communicator, and this is Life 360. This year, when we'll be talking about 16 days of activism, we will be focusing, and this year specifically, on technology-facilitated abuses or violences. I'm talking about ways that people have created to abuse each other online. Apart from that, we'll also be looking at different other ways of violence. I'm talking about early marriages and FGM. I'm talking about sexual abuse and above all, intimate partner violence. Now, let's start from early marriage and FGM, which are very intertwined. In many communities, like the one I'm from, when a girl undergoes FGM, that is a direct ticket to early marriage. These are girls who are below even the age of 16. Recently, we did an interview here at Life 360 about early marriage in Turkana County, where a film was done talking about a young girl who was married off. And then after getting married, she got pregnant, and due to her young age, she died during childbirth. These are some of the things that happen in our communities, not just one communities, but different communities in Kenya and across the world. Early marriage and FGM is something that has existed for a long time and still continues. Even though there are efforts to make sure that these vices stop, our young girls are still suffering, and there are communities that still see this as a taboo, even to mention early marriage and FGM. And when we talk about these 16 days of activism, these are some of the things that we speak about boldly and call upon stakeholders, the communities, our parents, our mothers, our fathers, our boys, our young girls to come together and ensure that these issues stop. Now, when it comes to sexual abuse, these are things that most people will say it happens to women mostly. However, the men are equally affected. Remember, when you are a rapist or when you rape a young girl, it could be your sister the next day, it could be your daughter the next day, it could be your mother. So when it comes to sexual abuses, we also call upon young men, our fathers, and even the community at large to ensure safety of our women, safety of our young boys, safety of our men, so that in a collective voice we can end this violence. Intimate partner violence is one area that is very wide and important to speak about. And when we talk about violence, we're not just talking about battering or fighting when it comes to intimate partner relationships. We're talking about different forms of violence that happen. It could be economic violence, it could be social violence, it could be verbal violence, all this within intimate partner relationships. When we call upon our families, our relationships, how do we diagnose a relationship to ensure that we step aside from toxic traits that could lead to any form of violence when it comes to intimate partner relationships. And finally, the theme of this year is technology facilitated violence. Most of us have used the digital platforms in a more negative way rather than a positive way. And when we use our digital platforms, how do we ensure that it is a safe space? Technology-facilitated gender-based violence, technology-facilitated forms of violence are becoming rampant. And that is one only reason where it's important for us to go back to the drawing board, to look at what we post online, how we interact online, how we treat each other online, to ensure that during these 16 days of activism, we are not perpetrators of technology-facilitated violence, but rather we are champions and ensure that we live in a healthy society and a space where each and every person has a voice, and a healthy one at that. As we mark these 16 days of activism, we will be speaking to different living experiences or lived experiences of people. It could be mothers, it could be people who have gone through different forms of violence, so that we learn from their experience, and also experts who will tell us how to be champions and not perpetrators of different forms of violence in our community. Until then, my name is Robbie Omondi, and this is Life 360.